Hi everyone, this is Heidi and you're watching Heidi K Makeup. As promised, I'm going to do a Renaissance look today, which is why I'm wearing this awesome outfit. This is what I actually wore to the Renaissance Festival. If you guys like this, I can do a couple other Renaissance looks, one that's a little bit more realistic of what they would have worn, one that's more stage makeup, one that's more peasant, one that's more noblewoman, whatever you guys want. Just go ahead and leave requests down below, but this is the look that I actually wore. The only thing I've done so far is just this one eye and then my foundation and concealer because I want to show you the lips individually. I want to show you the cheeks because those are really important parts of this look. And I also want to show you a little trick that I used. So the first thing I did is I already primed my face and put on my foundation. The foundation that I used today is my Revlon Color Stay. And I used Ivory, which is the lightest shade that they have, because I wanted to go for a really fair look. And I have very fair skin already, but I wanted to kind of pale it out. So I would go with just a foundation that maybe you bought thinking was the right shade and is maybe a shade too light that you wouldn't normally wear. Then I went ahead and I concealed under my eyes, and I used my Maybelline Dream Mousse Concealer. This is in the shade Light, which again I think is a little too light for me, especially after I went to the Renaissance Festival. Sugar saying hi to everyone. But I'm trying to go for a really fair complexion because that was what was the style back then. So my next trick that I want to show you guys is rather than setting my foundation with a loose powder that is skin toned like I normally do, this is a stage makeup trick that I learned when I was in theater. I'm using baby powder. And this is just Walgreens brand baby powder. Whatever you have is fine. You can also use translucent powder, but this is cheaper and easy. So I'm just using this palette. It looks like this. I already have some powder on it, so I don't want to tilt it too much. But I just bought this at Michael's. You can get them at any local craft store. And I'm just going to tap some of that, or pour some of that into this palette here. Then I'm going to go ahead and go in with a powder brush. Any powder brush will do. This is the one I'm using today. It's my Clinique one. I'm just going to dip into that baby powder. Tap off the excess because otherwise I'm going to look really white. And I'm going to spread that across all my face. And it's just going to keep me really, really pale looking, which is kind of the idea with these Renaissance makeup. In fact, a lot of times in Renaissance makeup you would see a very clear line of demarcation right here between the white powder and your skin. So that's okay. Normally we don't want to do that, but that's okay for this look. So there's my skin really kind of muted out. And it gives me kind of a matte look, which is really good because that was the kind of makeup that they had back in the day. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with a really simple brown eye. It looks like this. And I'm again going to be using my Urban Decay Naked palette, which looks like this. If you guys don't have this, pick it up because it's awesome. I don't know if it's still available at the moment. I know that it goes through bouts where it's easy to find and then it's hard to find. But if you can get your hands on it, do it because it's amazing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be using 4 shades from this palette. I'm going to be using Virgin, which is right here, Naked, which is right here, Buck, and then Dark Horse. Okay? So I'm going to go in with a flat shader brush. This one is by e.l.f. And I'm going to dip into Virgin, which is that lightest color. It's got a teeny bit of shimmer, but not a lot. If you don't have this palette, just any eyeshadow that's a couple shades lighter than your skin tone. If you are fair like I am, Max Brulee is really good, or NYX's Highlight, anything. And I'm spreading that all the way up to the brow bone, so from lashes to brow bone with that. And then I'm going to go in with Naked, which is this matte, soft brown shade. If you don't have the Naked palette, this is very similar to matte soft brown, if you do have that. Going in with the same brush, I'm just going to put that all along my lid. So this is going to look almost like I'm not wearing makeup. It's going to be like my lid's only better. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to dip into Buck. which is this medium brown shade right here. This is really similar to MAC's Cork, if you have that. Just any matte medium brown. And I'm going to trace that through the crease. And then the last thing I'm going to do, this is super easy look on the eyes. The focus is going to be on the lips and cheeks today. I'm going to go into Dark Horse, which is this super dark chocolate brown. It does have a little bit of shimmer. If you have one that doesn't, that would be even better. I think NYX's Charcoal Brown would be a really good dupe for this in matte. Or if you have the Tarte Eye Couture palette, they have a deep chocolatey brown sort of color. I don't know what a good MAC dupe would be, but you know, whatever you have is fine. And I'm just going to line my eye with that, and I'm using an angled liner brush, like this. And I'm going all the way in. Let me just fix it on this side, too. Just like that. Super duper simple. That's it for the eyes. In fact, I'm not even wearing mascara today, because if you look at some paintings of the Renaissance period, and if you look kind of at the history of Renaissance, they didn't really have mascara back then. And the look that they were going for, especially in Elizabethan times, was really fair with really light hair and light skin. And so having blonde eyelashes that you can't really see was perfectly fine back then during the Elizabethan time. So that's what I'm trying to stick with. I am, however, going to curl them. And I'm just going in with my e.l.f. eyelash curler. That was hard to say. And curling my lashes. Very strange for me not to wear mascara. Usually if I leave the house and I only have one product on, it's mascara. So this is kind of strange. But yeah, that's what the eyes look like. Now, here comes the fun part. They had really bright red cheeks at that time. It was a really rosy sort of look. And so there's a couple of tricks you can do. You can take a red lipstick like this one and just tap it on your fingers and tap that on. I'm going to go in with my Benefit Benetint. I love, love, love this stuff. If you can't tell from all my tutorials, I've used it a ton of times. And I'm going to tap that along my bone right here, not on the apples of my cheeks, because that wasn't really the style. It was kind of higher up right here. And I want that to be super duper dark, way darker than usual, because I want it to be very obvious that I'm wearing blush. I don't want it to look like, oh, glow from within. I want it to be like blush. I'm doing 2 coats of that. I'm just blending with my middle finger, kind of blending up and backwards, and not bringing it in too much. Again, it was kind of up higher. Was the style. So you can see that super crazy blush line. Super bright. I mean, the lighting's not that great, so it's kind of hard to tell, but here, maybe you can see better on this cheek, because the sun seems to be hitting this side a little bit better. It's super crazy bright. I kind of feel a little like a clown, but that's okay. That's what you should feel like if you're going for a noblewoman, Renaissance-y sort of look. This is the actual blush I wore, so it's kind of crazy. Alright, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do really red lips, and they're going to be matte. I'm going to go ahead and line my lips. The liner I'm using today is just by Prestige. It's called Brick Red. And I'm going to try and emphasize my Cupid's bow. And we're going to keep it very matte today, so I'm not going to be wearing gloss. Alright, I know this is boring. I can't talk while I'm doing liner. And then I'm going to start in the middle here. And line my way out. Just like that. And I'm going to kind of feather it in just a little. I'm not filling it in all the way, just feathering it. like that. Now I'm going to go in with a red lipstick. They didn't really have pink tones back then, so if you're going to wear lipstick, it should be red. This is the shade I'm using. This is MAC's Viva Glam 1. This is my favorite red lipstick of all time. I absolutely love it. And I'm just going to spread that across my lips. Rub them together. And I make sure I get that Cupid's bow really well. And I want to get in this inner part right here too, because you can see when I talk, you see all this prettiness. And then that's it. That completes the look. So this is my Renaissance-y sort of look. If you want to kind of create a more clean line right here, or if you're afraid of feathering, you can go in with a concealer and just like an angled brush, like the one that we used for our eyeliner, well, for the shadow that we used as liner, and just dip it into that, and you can trace along your lips on the outer part. Just to kind of sort of catch all of that. And that's it. Now it's a little bit odd for me not to wear gloss because I'm so used to wearing gloss on my lips. If you guys want, you can. It's just I wanted to go with a little bit more accurate look. If you still want to make your lips look a little bit fuller, if you have a little smaller lips than I do, you can do the Marilyn Monroe trick where she took a shimmery eyeshadow. This one is thin. You can also use a white eyeliner. Put it onto your finger and then just dab it onto the red lip and kind of spread. And that kind of gives them some dimension too. If you like, you don't have to do that. I didn't do it when I was actually doing it, but I think this is a pretty fun sort of look. And yeah, I hope you guys all enjoy. If you have some more Renaissance requests or era requests or costume makeup or anything like that, go ahead and leave them down in the comment box below. And yeah, if you guys can favorite, subscribe, all that fun stuff. I really enjoyed it. I hope you guys did too. Thanks for watching.